welcome to the Shelly Studio. Today I am changing it up a little bit from my 100-day project, and I'm going to do some jelly printing. And this one is part of the Art Joy of Sharing Facebook group. That was their mood board for March, and they're working with muted colors this month. So I wanted to give it a try and gel print with some muted colors. I have some really old paints that I keep wanting to use up. During this process, I find a few that are actually completely dried up. They just get tossed in the trash, mostly the white colors. But yeah, so I'm going to take a couple of colors. Well, I'm doing a few base colors, background colors first. And I have like a light pink and a cream color. Those are the two I'm putting down. And I figured those seemed kind of muted already, so I didn't worry about mixing them, but they'll be mixed in the brayering process. Just to create a background. And yeah, I don't have a lot of space to do this, but I realize after this one that I don't have to go all the way up to the top of that because I'm using rice paper that I've cut in half, and it doesn't need to go all the way to the top. So I can brayer without going clear up there next time. And I don't think I noticed yet, but I noticed eventually that the rice paper I'm using is a lot thinner than the last package of rice paper, which I still have. Like, I don't know if any of you watch Robin McClendon, and she suggested a certain brand of rice. No, not Robin McClendon. Elizabeth St. Hilaire, and there's a certain rice paper that she likes to use, so I followed her link onto Amazon and bought a package, out of curiosity. It's a lot thinner. It probably collages better than the other rice paper, but it tears so easy. So you'll see me a few times doing these prints that, yeah, it's tearing. So I'm trying to mute some blue and using my Speedball gel plate that I got on clearance, and it's not good for anything but mixing paint, but I tried mixing it with the brayer. Yeah, that I got a nice coat on the Speedball, the smaller plate, but not as much of a coat on the other one, as you'll see here. But this is still a background. So here I'm pulling it up. See, it starts to tear. And she does put her paint on thicker than I do. I don't put my paint on quite as thick. This page, yeah, that was thicker. But then I try to pick up the rest of it. And while I don't tear the rice paper, it was really hard to get off. It's like glued on there. And that gel plate is like sticky. It's just made differently. I don't know. It's made for Speedball paints, which are water soluble, probably. And that would lift easier. I don't know. And wash off. So, anyway, going on. Yeah, so I just really thought it would be fun to create some muted painty papers to maybe use in my 100-day project, because yeah, that's going to take me a long time to finish that one. What am I on today? Day 22. By the time you see this, it'll be day 28, because I'm doing this voiceover on Sunday, and I'm hoping to have this go up on next Saturday. So if you mix complementary colors, you get mud, right? But if you mix just a touch of one of the two colors, you get a muted color. And I was trying to mute the green, but I put way too much red. So really what I'm getting is this interesting gray color, but it's gray. Again, it doesn't get any better. And I'm mixing it on the gel plate this time. And there's a lot of paint there. And so I just mix it some more because there's a few streaks. Then we'll do a stencil. We'll put it on one of my other backgrounds that I've made. I'm just trying to get it, make sure I collect out of all those little grooves and get everything. Oh, and it's sticking to the, that's a paper stencil, by the way, and it tore that spot a little bit because it glued right onto the tissue paper. Okay, now I'm trying to mute this kind of violet color. I like some of the colors I've mixed, so I added white first this time, and now I'm going to add just a touch. You don't see it, it's down below, but just a small touch of the green. And I'm just going to put some white out there just to make it more marbled. And I'm taking one of my blue backgrounds. It was kind of a muted turquoisey color, I think. And there it is. I'm just picking the rest up with deli paper. Now I'm using the cream. I actually like how this one turns out. I just used the cream. There's some white in there and still some of that violet-y color. I'd call it lavender, I guess. And it just, yeah, I think this print turned out kind of pretty. None of them are perfect pulls. See, there's that one. Yeah, so I set that piece of paper on there, and I had to stop and wash off my Speedball gel plate, the small one, because it had paper stuck to it. I'm just adding just a very small touch of blue. Mixing it again with the brayer, you know, I should just learn to do that with the palette knife. It works better. That's almost, like if I'd have kept going, that's almost Naples yellow. And I'm just going to pick that up. And there's so much paint still on that plate. It's not, it lifts better with white copy paper for me, rather than that tissue, or it's not tissue, it's the rice paper. But I love the thinness of it. I love collaging with it, so that's why I'm using it. But copy paper, I don't know, it's tougher. I can let it sit a little longer and just pull up all the paint. I'm basically just kind of ignoring the fact that it's not lifting up, and I'll do a cleanup at the end. Okay, now I have several shades of blue, so I'm trying another shade of blue and a different shade of orange to mute it. And I add some white because we don't. Oh, I add more blue because I felt like it was turning too brown or gray, and I'll add some white here too because I like the lighter color. And that tube of paint, white paint's almost empty. It keeps splattering. There we go. It's a nice blue, don't you think? And I take this and I put it over the yellow. Interesting results. I think it looks a lot darker on the yellow. A lot, I don't know. Just interesting. There it is. Alright, so I'm going to clean out with the deli paper. I think I actually like how that turns out. Like, that's got some collage potential. And then this one, you don't see it, but I did let it dry a little bit. It's still not perfectly dry, but I edited that out for time because it's a long video. Jelly printing, yeah, it seems like it's going fast when you're doing it, but when you look at how long you've actually been doing it, it's actually a long time. So this one has some interesting patterns on it. It's real subtle. You'll see I snap a picture so you can see the picture. But it's got some interesting sort of stuff going on. And then I just put another one down just to clean up what was there, because there's all that stuff, you know, all those layers still sitting there, even that yellow from before. So I'm trying to lift it all up, and then I get this one, which has some interesting color combinations. It almost looks like some rusted metal, doesn't it? That's what I was thinking. Alright, we're going to try and mute some green and hopefully not get gray again. I can't remember. Did I end up with gray? No, I think this one, oh yeah, I add a little yellow just to keep it more green. Thought that would work. And these are Daler and Rowney. I'm guessing the person that bought them for me got them like at Walmart. Just a cheap little set of paints that's been sitting around for a couple of years, so thought it'd be fun to use it. I like this color green. It's a nice muted color. Muted green. So you just have to be careful and not, you know, even out those complementary colors. And then I just added cream to that to kind of take out the brightness, and I think that works. And coming in with another stencil. I didn't use any of my stamp blocks. In fact, they're not where they normally sit. I don't know if I put them in away somewhere. I usually have them sitting out where I can see them. But I've been organizing, so I probably put them away in a perfectly logical place. But I didn't even think of pulling them out for this one, so... Just keep doing layers and layers. But like I said, this is for the Art Joy of Sharing Facebook group. I think there's a hashtag, but I would have to look it up to see what it is, because I don't remember. Yeah. So if you're interested in them, I'll try to remember to put a link to their Facebook group down below, so you can check them out if you would like. More just the pink and the cream color, or just the cream, I can't remember. I wasn't looking. I like that one on the blue. Oh, and that one that you didn't see me make. There is a flip through at the end, so you can see the finished of all of them at the very end. I always forget to say that at the beginning, but you could have just jumped to the end if you just wanted to see the flip through of the different papers. Yeah. And here I think I'm mixing a little bit of black with the brown and then adding white. And I think the video cuts off here in a second or two. Well, maybe it's when I get it braided on. I can't remember. But I know you don't see the print I pull, but it's just boring, so... It's just, yeah, boring. So, this is the second pull. You didn't see the first one. The second one's boring too. It's just dark gray. Voila. You gotta have some dark colors, right? Gotta have some variety if you're gonna, like, collage something. And I wanted a little bit of that bright pink. So I'm thinking back to the picture, and it had some, I don't know what kind of flowers they were, but they had a little bit of bright in there along with the softer pink color. So I just add a little bit of bright to my paper. And I'm trying to clean off. Does it clean off? A little bit. It's very subtle, but there's that one. You know, I was thinking that I would use up more of these paints. Or toss more dry ones out. But I did not use them up. And there's not that much in them. They're pretty small. They're like sample sizes practically. Trying to remember what this one looked like. Oh yeah, nothing. There's another background one for you. Alright, I'm going to try mixing up another blue. Add some blue, add some white, and a touch of... I think I add a touch of... What's the complementary of blue? Orange? Apparently I felt I needed more blue. I'm looking at my color wheel. This is kind of a yellow ochre color, so it's kind of a... It's on the orange side. And I have to use... I'm constantly using blue because I like blue so well. I like blue and I like teal. Sorry about the dog barking. He just barks at nothing, so there's no stopping him. He just barks to bark. He'll just sit in the middle of the yard. There's nobody around, nothing around, and he'll just bark. It's like, who are you talking to? Alright, so there's that one. That one, extra footage at the end, we'll tint that one so we make something more interesting. And that's when I really realize how thin this tissue is. And there's that one, kind of a grungy ghost print. Alright, so I believe this one is my cleanup print. So I pulled out some copy paper for this one. And I'm going to get the whole plate covered. Just a thin layer. And then, yeah, it is scrap copy paper. And I'll let that sit for a little bit and get everything off the plate. It wasn't quite coming, so I'm flipping it over. And this way I can make sure it just works better. I don't know. Somebody showed me that, and I'm like, booyah. There it comes. Oh, that's an interesting one, right? It's got lots of interesting bits, I think. Here's just a little segment of it. Lots of grungy texture. Alright, so here are my prints. I'm showing you also the deli paper clean-offs that I got. There's my Greek key. The yellow one, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with. Some of this really rustic looking stuff. So the next thing, I mean, I'm going to use it for my 100-day project, but I've got to come up with something too. Our Joy of Sharing has a class where you can sign up and, it's a paid class where they teach you stuff, and they've been doing abstract, and I'm thinking maybe I might try to do one of their abstract pages with this. Some of this, we'll see. Anyway. So that's the main video. I hope you enjoyed that. If you liked it, leave me a comment or hit the like button. I appreciate it. Now here is the bonus footage. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It just dissolves in your hand. Do you see that corner piece? Okay, I'm not going to touch it. when I did this before, I think I just rubbed it with my hands to spread the color, but now I'm scared. So I'm taking my red and it's going to be a green. So just a teeny bit of green to mute it down a little bit. See, that turned out good, didn't it? It's not enough paint, but it's going to have to do. So I'm adding water to thin it down, and then we're just going to coat my paper with it. Don't think I have a photo. We'll put a photo. There'll be a photo at the end so you can see what this looks like once it's all dry. But yeah, I was afraid to touch it. And then I'm looking, so I pull out the packages. That is the package that I got with the Robin McClendon, and this other package, not even in the picture, is the other that's a little bit more stiff. So there's what I have. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you, and have an awesome day.